today's project diary I will show you how to grow tulip bulbs in containers. Hi and welcome to Project Diaries. In today's video I'm going to teach you how to plant tulip bulbs in containers. Now I am a little bit ill, so if I keep doing some dodgy editing in this video it's because I keep having a coughing fit. But I'm going to go straight into the video. As you can see here, I've got some beautiful tulip bulbs. Now a lot of people on the internet will tell you to buy the largest bulbs that you can find, but these were actually £7 for an entire bucket, so I actually picked the medium sized ones. You don't really want to go too small, but you want to get a kind of medium one like this. Now basically when you plant the bulb, you want the pointy part to be pointing upwards, and this part, the bulby, the flatter base part, to be facing downwards, because the roots will come out at the bottom and the flower will come out the top. Now it's autumn right now, and this is the best time to plant lots of spring bulbs, mainly because they need to go through a dormant stage which is called stratification. Now I've mentioned that in my previous garlic video, so go and check that out for full details on this. But today I'm going to show you how to plant these in containers, and here's how to do it. So to start with, you want to look at the size of container that you're going to grow these bulbs in. You can plant bulbs in fairly much any size container that you want, but you do want to plant them at least 3 times as deep as the bulb itself. This one here is between 15 and 18 inches, and make sure there's lots of drainage holes at the bottom. You don't want to allow these to sit in water and rot over the winter. You then have to think about what kind of winter you're going to have. Now if your winters are really freezing and you have lots of snow, I wouldn't recommend using terracotta or clay, because the water will freeze and the pot is more likely to crack. So I'm using plastic containers because they're more likely to hold in a lot more heat over the winter. So I'm going to start off filling the container half with soil and the other half is going to be with bulbs. And unlike any other video that I've seen online, I'm going to show you how to maximise the biggest blooms and have the best bouquet. So using my ever faithful milk bottle compost scoop, I'm going to half fill the container with soil. If you'd like to know how to make this scoop and 5 other handy garden tools, the link is on the screen now. So for this I'm using multi-purpose compost with a couple of scoops of vermiculite or perlite. This will also help with drainage and water retention. If you need to buy anything online that's featured in today's video, I'll leave some handy Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. So using the scoop you can quickly half fill this container, and once you're done just level it out. Once the loose soil is in place, the next thing you need to do is add all the bulbs. Now if you look at the bulb carefully, you can see a flat side on one and a slightly bulbous side on the other. You basically want to push the flat side up against the container. This will help them grow straighter and allow you to get more bulbs in one pot. You do want to get the bulbs as close together as possible, but you don't want them to be touching. If the soil gets too much rain or bogged down over the winter, this could cause the bulbs to start rotting. To prevent this spreading across all of your bulbs, it's best to keep them a few millimeters apart. Now some people plant tulips as an annual, which means they're only bloomed that year, but if you're lucky you can actually grow these as perennials, meaning they'll come back every year. The secret of growing the same tulip bulbs year after year is to bury them deep enough. You need to bury them between 4 and 6 inches deep. Once you finish the first layer, and if you have enough bulbs left, you can actually just cover these with soil and place another layer in. I know this may sound crazy, but trust me on this, the bulbs will find their way out and the sprouts will come through and you'll get a thicker and bigger bloom. You just need a thin layer of soil to cover the tips of these bulbs, flatten it out slightly and then use all the bulbs in a circular pattern as you did before. Now there's nothing stopping you growing these bulbs in the garden, but I will do this in another video, so don't forget to subscribe. There is also a technique that you can use in container growing which is called forcing, but again I will show you how to do this in another video later on. Another trick you can do is grow various bulbs that bloom throughout the season and grow them in layers. This will ensure you get multiple different flower blooms throughout early and mid-spring, through late spring and into summer. But again, I'll also do this in another video soon. Once you've finished layering the final layer of bulbs on the top, just cover them up again using around 3 to 4 inches of soil. Now you want to fill the soil all the way to around an inch from the top. Leaving around an inch lip at the top will make it a lot easier when watering these in the spring. Now the soil that I used was already moist, so I'm not going to water these in, but if your soil is dry I'd water these in very lightly. Also if you're prone to have really wet winters, I suggest covering these up until the weather warms up. This will give you extra protection to stop any bulbs from rotting. The final technique I will suggest for overwintering your tulip containers is, if you're in an area that's going to experience an extremely cold winter this year, that will have months of weather below freezing, I suggest you burying your containers in the ground or in sand. If your ground is too hard or too frozen to dig a hole, the alternative is to cover them in a few layers of bubble wrap. The tulip bulbs will benefit from the stratification between 0 and 30 degrees, but prolonged weather below freezing for any amount of time will kill these bulbs. Now, as you know, I'd usually do a stage by stage of these growing, but as nothing's going to happen until next spring and so many people have actually asked me to do this video, I thought I'd upload it now. But what you can do is you can add more some pansies or some other flowers that can cascade over the sides just for the time being until these start sprouting through next year. But hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see the update video, and I'll see you again next time. If you'd like to keep up to date on all of my future releases, click the subscribe button here. Here are some links to some of my other videos. And if you tried this or any other project, I'd love to see your progress, so please join my Facebook gardening group where thousands of people are sharing photos and ideas daily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.